So it is about a week or so after NovaCon, and that about that much time has spent. I'm assuming a couple of days of convalescence from the con, but we're going to start off doing some downtime stuff, just sort of things that you guys have had some free time in order to pursue. We're going to go ahead and go around the table and start with Sovereign. Sovereign, what are you up to in a post NovaCon world?
I feel like she really wants to draft um a fake apology to Circuit after their long encounter during NovaCon. Um and she really wants like Rant to do it with her. Like, you know how some people get together for like a jam session? Like, I want to get together for like a passive aggressive letter writing session.
Okay. Would Rant have time for that?
I think Rant would probably be a little confused about it at first, but the problem is the more time he spends around Sovereign, the more he's like, oh yeah, all my bad tendencies are coming out. So yeah, probably would be like, yeah, sure, like I'm all up for this. Yeah.
What are you talking about? This is an apology letter. I'm nice now. After Fawn's good influence on me, I'm not even a bitch.
Oh,
So I'm writing an apology letter to Circuit.
and why exactly are you apologizing to her?
I think like we made some perfect memory here. We did make a promise to Stephen Gearhead Strange that we were gonna say sorry to Circuit. And I did
What?
attend their concert and I did get bodily removed from the concert.
Okay, so we're on track so far, at least.
Yeah.
I, so why did you make any sort of agreement with that?
Don't you remember when we were on the phone with him and his manager? We were like, he was like, you should say sorry to Circuit because we're friends with her. And we said we would, and then we didn't.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You remember
that's
that?
true. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
he had animals all wired up with stuff.
Yeah,
He's
it's
not a good
freakish.
person, so like I don't know why we have to hold our promises to someone that's terrible.
Well, I feel like I'm kind of publicly going through like a redemption arc where I'm not an asshole anymore because of Fawn's good influence, of course. And I don't know. I feel like an apology letter works. We could like film it,
Uh,
us
uh,
writing it.
yeah, and
So no
okay,
one can ever say I don't keep my promises.
that's
Hmm.
fair.
Hmm.
Yeah, all right, all right. I'm here for it.
All right, cool.
All right, so
Let's,
you guys are gonna film an apology letter video of you guys composing an apology letter to Circuit.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm definitely thinking that this is going to be a culture roll, so you can
Yes.
get your message on point. Um, yeah, you can definitely, yeah. Anyone, whoever has the superior dice pool can roll. Anyone who wants, if you, the other one wants to roll in order to provide enhancements, that'd probably be the best way that goes.
No, that's an excellent idea. Like we should definitely passive aggressively talk about, how fun it is to be like a fake Nova or something. Or maybe that's laying it on too hard. Tell me about your artistic interpretation.
Yeah,
Anyway, I have a culture of 2.
I've got a culture of 1.
All
I'm
right.
thinking of using intellect with it because I
Ooh.
want it to be really highbrow and reference like Terrigen philosophy
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
with the being like, oh, we're trying to hold up an olive leaf to our fellow Nova
Uh-huh.
kind.
Oh, definitely. And like I feel like we should just like splatter in that we think Steven Weird is sus as fuck.
Exactly.
Like be like, hey, I understand that like the headgear was only in gorillas, but like, it could probably be put in other large mammals too, like people. All right, I'm about to roll. Three.
Okay, so you got 3 successes, and
Yeah, you
Rand, are
want to
you
roll the help?
adding? You're gonna roll to add enhancement to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got 3 successes as well. So
Sweet.
Okay. All right. So you get provide 3 enhancement. So yeah, you guys have 6 successes, which is a pretty good film session of writing a letter, which doesn't actually have to involve writing a letter. It's just the appearance of writing one. It's a very weird kind of self-referential, like what are they actually doing kind of thing. But it is constructed in such a way that it on the surface at least appears sincere, with having all sorts of like terrace and also backhanded comments about her boyfriend woven in, so that there's enough shade suffusing it, such that you have not actually sincerely apologized, but it sounds like you're getting ready to.
Ah, this is perfect. It's like music.
Yeah. And do you guys release this video, or are you going to hold this video in check?
I'm gonna hold it.
Okay. All right. So you have this mimetic shade bomb constructed and ready to be deployed. Awesome. Okay. What about Liberty Lad? What is Liberty Lad up to in his free time?
Has Circuit had their date with or their coffee date with Aterrados?
Nope.
Not yet.
Okay.
That has yet to be established.
Okay.
When that's going to be.
I would be checking on Balance Industries. Like not investigating them anymore, but like checking to see that that this new team might be able to work with Project Utopia. Since I said that last night, if I'm involved, I gotta bring on the old
Yes,
ball
you
and
want to check
chain.
up on that? Yeah, you check up on that, and there was definitely been some contact between the two. And it definitely does sound like they're moving forward with a lot of plans.
Yeah.
And from what you get from the Utopia side of things, they have very little interest in working with this team. It seems like there's been some information filtered through Aeon that it doesn't seem like a initiative that melds well with the overall position of Utopia and Aeon. The idea of private military company doing nationalistic things doesn't seem to be work well. They've sort of set it up in a situation of like, oh yeah, we'll work with you by means of being oversight with you and controlling you through funding in any way that we possibly can. But it doesn't seem like it's going to be like a full-throated collaboration, at least from Utopia's end. Balance Industries will take money and utopian resources all day, but it doesn't. From where you're standing, this doesn't seem like a very fruitful partnership. Just because there's such a misalignment of values.
And then also, I would probably on my social media hint to followers about like I would say like, oh yeah, I was able to. Don't worry, gang. I was able to handle a violent encounter with a certain Nova, and I'd be like, I will not let officers of the law be harmed by irresponsible Terrigens, even if they don't care about baselines. I do, just to try to hurt Aterrados's social media following or his
Gotcha.
public.
Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and make a culture roll on that.
Okay, I think I'm going to use presence.
All right, that works.
Am I able to use my mega dots with that as well? Or that just lowers the
that provides
scale.
Leadership scale for mega presence. So it will apply, but it applies not in a dice rolling capacity, but in an enhancement to the roll.
An enhancement, thank you. Culture 1. So let's do 5. Ooh, okay, so that's 2 extra ones. All right, I got 3.
3 successes. Okay, and then your Leadership scale applies. So yeah, you definitely do a nice torpedo at Aterrados in terms of getting him smearing his name and highlighting your heroic efforts against him. That does a lot of damage and a lot of good for you. Now, as far as Balance Industries talking with you, they're still very much like keeping in regular contact with you. Basically like saying, hey, when you turn 18 and when your contract with Utopia ends up, you absolutely have a position here. And there's like they're sort of like they are very open to working with you, even in your capacity as being on Team Tomorrow, as like collaborations, media appearances, going on, kind of smaller missions that doesn't compromise your activity with Team Tomorrow. They are absolutely buttering you up. Like it's
Really?
very easy to tell that they want a Liberty lad as part of whatever they're going to put together.
Word. That should probably do it for me then.
Okay, cool.
I'll be open to both parties, obviously.
Gotcha. Okay, noted. Yeah, you got your bread buttered on both sides. Okay. Rant. Letter writing video aside with Sovereign, what about you? What would you be doing in your post NovaCon time?
Yeah, spending a lot of time researching who knows about Sluice and asking really careful questions of like who knows about this, who's concerned about him, or is there any stress? Like I'm trying to read people as well as like get some details. I'm probably gonna try and talk to Leviathan actually, if possible.
Yeah, you can get a quick meeting with Leviathan. He says, you get some messages back and forth with him, and he says that he can be in New York later that evening. So yeah, you basically set up a time, and you know the way down to his little sewer zone. And later that evening, he shows up and lets you into his pad, and says like, "Hey, hey, Rant, how's it going?"
It's going pretty well, mate.
Cool.
I really appreciate you meeting with me. I know you've got a lot of things going on, so I appreciate you taking the
No, it's
time.
good. We got something coming up in New York for in a day or so. So I'm doing a lot of prep work. So I'm here in the area. It's fine. You're not wasting my time.
Good. And I'm going to get right to the point. I've been worried, thinking about Sluice a little bit.
Me too. We need to get that we need to get that little shit out of there, wherever they got him.
Well, I guess my wonder, or my worry, I guess, is anyone on our end kind of frustrated, upset, gonna take it out on him for getting out of there when he finally does?
He blinks a couple of times, and you see like one set of eyelids blink and then another set of eyelids blink, kind of in rapid succession. He's all like, "Hell no."
I didn't think so, but I got into my head and I got spinning around thinking about it and going, someone that close to the belly of the beast, it makes you worried a little bit, right?
I mean, it depends. I mean, if he's turned while in there, then yeah, that would be upsetting. That would not be great. But he did, he did a good job. I remember it was really more him and Garon that was talking about the whole thing. Garon just wanted to, go fuck that guy up, and they went back and forth about it, and I don't know. You'd have to talk to him about how it exactly went down, but my impression was that Sluice, either he wanted to do it or they came up with the idea for him to go in there and do the whole Malcolm X civil disobedience kind of thing, and set things off. Like that's my impression I got about it. Then Garen did what he did. I no one was really expecting him to go that far, but that piece of shit deserved every thing that he got. So I'm not crying about it.
No, of course not. An individual like that gets what they get, right?
Yeah, try and fucking because the fucking thing is, if we let one of those people in power get away with banning any Nova from the city just because of them being a Nova, being affiliated with the terrorism, if we let one of them get away with it,
then everyone's going to do it.
Then
exactly.
then anyone with a fucking bone of bigotry in their ass is gonna fucking follow suit. So I'm glad he did what he did. I don't know about like the sequence of events with him and Sluice.
So I'm not connected with Garyon, but would you maybe connect me at least via messenger or something like that?
Sure. Yeah, he's actually we're working on the same thing. We're going to be it's kind of a multi-level thing that we're setting up, kind of an intricate plan. But he's coming to the city in about the same time, maybe tomorrow morning. He's going to be over at the core building. So if you want to go over and talk to him tomorrow morning,
Yeah,
that might work out.
sure. I'll be happy to do that. That would
Yeah.
be an interesting encounter. I've never had that chance, so it'd be nice.
I mean, he will bust your balls. I mean, do not think that you will get out of there without him giving you the rundown.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
I'm not really too
he's
worried
not a
about
nice
that.
guy like me.
Right. So don't do a song with him as the Little Mermaid. Is that what I'm hearing?
I do not think you would have at least one of your limbs.
Right.
At least one of your limbs. He would not kill you. But I don't think, limb would not be a thing you would have.
Right.
Between 1 and 3.
I'd rather have all 4. So thank you for that
watch
advice.
your ass.
Yeah. Right. Fair enough. Thank you.
Cool. Any other sort of long-term plans that you'd be working on?
But that's mostly it. I've kind of got the songwriting thing going all the time, but
yeah, absolutely.
Nothing big other than that, really.
Any particular songs that you're working on now? Any sort of like themes that you're playing around with in your songwriting?
Trying, sorry, trying to get something a little bit different. I've had the Disney punk thing going for a little bit now, but now I'm trying to switch to something a little bit about who am I, who do I want to be, that sort of thing. Like I'm trying to find songs that are about identity and self.
Okay. More introspective stuff. Yeah, I mean that stuff is all coming together, especially as you are learning more about Chrysalis and more about Terrace. Those are very synergistic topics.
Awesome.
So yeah, you got some good work coming down the pipe. We'll move over to Circuit. What is Circuit up to post NovaCon?
Let's see. Post NovaCon, probably with the help of Spark, trying to figure out a good, reliable way that I can basically Ferris Bueller the local security within the building so I could get out if needed.
Go ahead and get me a Enigmas roll to try and get that hack set up.
All right. I'm gonna do Enigma's int, if that is cool.
Sure thing.
Yay.
Any specialties you might want to apply?
Oh yeah, I should do that, shouldn't I? Elite hacker. Skill trick elite hacker.
The skill trick elite hacker. That
Let me pull it up.
You're fairly certain that Utopia's security system is not designed by baselines.
Oh, that's right. That was the baseline one.
Yeah, but you can, I believe, provide a bonus to it with it. Let me just. That's right. It eliminates a complication, which it most certainly would have a complication on it. So yeah, you can apply that skill trick by spending a momentum.
Sweet. I will do that. As long as other people are cool with that. And all right, what do we have? 2, and then I have Mega Int 2, so that should lower the.
That does provide scale.
Scale, that was it.
So
all right,
it will be compared to the scale of the Nova who set that up.
All right. Well, I have 3 successes from the dice.
3 successes on the dice, and then 1 from your specialty.
Yep.
Gotcha. And then the complication, which is essentially the complication of whether or not you get caught, but your elite hacker takes care of that. You start to build some inroads. It's not easy. This is clearly not a someone of comparable or perhaps a little bit more intellect than you put the system together. But you do start on the process of getting a Ferris Bueller, .exe program installed into the network.
Excellent.
That'll take. You've hit the first milestone.
Mhm.
It'll require 2 more milestones in order to get that program set up.
Okay. That would probably be her main focus. Her little side focus is probably also just kind of getting the history of the Aeon Society. Just try and get some try and dig up what she can without pinging too many alerts.
Oh, okay. That
Just
would
so I
be
can have some good questions to ask.
sure. That would be in a humanities role.
Oh, boo, humanities. That's where I'm terrible. Might as
You're
well
not
just
a
ask me
Viking.
roll empathy. 4, 5, 6. Okay. That's 2 successes.
Okay. And plus your scale. Yeah, you dig up some information. I mean, there's a lot of information available just sort of through Utopia channels, like it's the mother institution that sets it up. There's a lot of like they have a lot of information on it, but none of it sort of spikes out at you as like here are juicy details and juicy secrets. It's kind of one of those things where there's so much information available that it's kind of hard to weed through it all to find anything particularly juicy. But you do have 2 successes with which I will let you ask questions that you might be able to gain more information, specific information.
Okay. And then the only other thing I really want to do is check in on our 5th member, just to, now that I know they went through some shit, just kind of send them a little IM.
Okay. Yeah, you
Like,
can send a message to
hey.
Tensor. What do you send to Tensor? You can back to the first thing. You can either ask those questions now, or you can store them up for basically at any time to ask questions about the Aeon Society.
I will probably store it for right now.
Fair enough. So yeah, what do you send to Tensor?
Probably just a little, hey, I heard your con was kind of a lot and crazy. How are you doing? Do you want to talk about it? If not, that's cool.
They send you a message back. It says like, yeah, I went a little too wild. I had a medical issue that the medical staff here was able to help me with. It was really not that fun. At least the last part of the night wasn't. And there's a period of time when like there's the typing dots, and then the typing dots stop, and then the typing dots, and then the typing dots stop, and eventually, and it says, just so you know, I don't particularly like the Terrigen or any Terrigen members, so please don't involve me in anything involving the legacy or the Terrigen in general. I don't want to be around them.
Cool. Totally can do that. They're not really high on the hangout list.
And they just send a message back. You'd think so.
You want to talk about that?
They respond, not particularly. That's really between me and Waterlily.
Okay. Well, if you ever want to talk, I'm not, I'm around. You. Stay cool.
They respond like, yeah, I've got a lot of work to catch up on.
Cool.
Okay. Anything else that you want to do in your free time?
Probably, no, like I said, if anything else, she'd be trying to poke more on the setting up that Ferris Bueller EXE But
Okay. Yeah, you've pretty much done what you can as far as that right now.
Okay.
Uh, the only other thing that you think of is, coordinating with Synapse, who's very willing to help you do whatever it is that needs to happen there.
mm, yeah, I kind of want to see how much I can do on my own first.
Gotcha. Okay. He lets you know that that it's he's very frank about it. He's like, yeah, I think that it would be cool for you to do it. It would also be really good for me if I were to make that happen.
Mm-hmm. Nope. Yeah, no, I appreciate the offer. I think right now I kind of want to do it. Just, point of pride and all.
You absolutely should. All right. So, letter writing video in chamber. Anything else that Sovereign would be getting up to?
I know that Sovereign also, she definitely has been picking up on Aterrados being he's like in a TM dark place right now.
Mm-hmm.
And she does listen to everything he says, even though she rolls her eyes at it. And I suppose she does want to help him with that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I suppose I could get the wheels turning on something like that. Maybe I could do some research on, because I know he always, what is the name of the company he's constantly harping on?
He's got a couple. Balance Industries is one that has done some
Yeah.
pretty shady shit in Central America. Dulles Consulting is another that is high on his list just because of the legacy of the Dulles family, and screwing over anything that might smell at all leftist, since after World War II. Those are the two main ones that are kind of on his hit list. There's a smattering of other companies that have done some environmental distillation, a lot of worker exploitation. There's some agricultural companies, Sci-Fi Monsanto.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, I think she's going to do some research on some targets, because I feel like in the past, when she's kind of gotten onto his case about his love of fertilizer-based terrorism,
mhm,
her criticism is always, yeah, don't get other people caught up in it.
mhm,
But I feel like if she has targets, she'd probably feel a little better about it. Like if it's like one dude, like,
mhm,
and you know who the motherfucker is,
right.
like, don't involve the secretaries, people who work in this office. They're just coming to work.
Mhm.
If you can get some dirt on this dude, if you can like find his Ashley Madison account, let's
Okay.
make him such a villain that if something bad happens to him, ain't no one crying about it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And
So
let's research, I guess.
okay, sure. Yeah. That let's see. What would be a good role for that?
Let me see.
Yeah, that would probably be either culture or humanities. It'll or enigmas, to try and uncover some stuff like that. I will
Let's-
let you know
What's up?
that as the first, like the core thing that you pick up immediately. Actually, let's wait until you do a roll, and then I'll hit you with the core stuff.
Okay, so I'm going to do an intellect and enigmas.
Okay, that'll work.
And with my enigmas, I have a special well, no. I have a specialty in connecting the dots and deductive reasoning. So
Well, connecting the dots, I think, is a skill trick.
I think it is as well.
And specialties only apply to roles
Non
outside of the thing. If you want to use connecting the dots, you
write
can.
down what
Let me
connecting
just
the
double
dots
check
is.
exactly what that does. I think that's more for like pulling together a conspiracy.
I think so too. Let me see. I might have printed it out. It doesn't look like I
I've got
did.
the core rulebook right here. something with a pattern, set of circumstantial clues, or incomplete evidence. You can, yeah, basically when you have a pile of evidence that you want to put together, that's when you use that skill trick.
All right. Let's get it rolling. Ooh. I get to reroll some stuff here.
Oh boy.
I got 3 on that one.
3 on that one. And do you have any mega intelligence to back that up?
No, I do not.
Okay,
have
so you got 3
mega
successes.
intelligence.
All right, so the core thing that jumps out at you and like immediately is you actually see on the news there is a lot of stuff going on with not so much the CEOs and the corporations that he's targeted, but a lot of like the senators and representatives and government people who are known to be in bed with these kind of things, like they have strong political ties to these organizations. A lot of dirt just suddenly landed on the OpNet regarding them very recently. And it is, some impeachment proceedings are starting. At least one of them has resigned. It looks like something big happened in regards to that. Maybe he did something along the lines of this already. It's suspicious because these are people like connected to the people who he's definitely wanting to hit.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you go into it and you get a lot of really good information and data on kind of the big players in a lot of these companies. You get I'll say you get 2 clues
Okay.
that once again, like you can ask a question about that, you can store that up for later,
Mhm.
or perhaps more in keeping with the way Sovereign rolls, I will allow you to just make shit up.
Excellent. I'll take a clue and then we'll make shit up.
Okay, so take 1 clue that you store for later, and then, or do you want to ask a question with that? Because clues is the generic term for what you get from these successes. They can be applied in different ways. So you can ask a question, you can store it for later, or you can make shit up with on a 1-for-1 basis.
I want to make shit up. I'm trying to think of what is like the juiciest for Aterrados specifically.
I mean, you can also store those up for later as well.
Because I think I might want him to be here in a session with me.
All right, so if you want to store those
I'm
up,
actually going to store it.
Just note that you have 2 clues regarding Aterrados' hit list.
2 clues. I'm writing it down so I don't forget on the hit list.
Gotcha.
Because I feel like he's really going to like this. I'm going to make like a Charlie conspiracy board to present to him. I think he'll really like that. It has a lot of chaos energy. I think he'll appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. One of them is Pepe Sylvia.
Oh, yes. 100%.
All right, cool. All right, so let's move back over to Liberty Lad. A little bit more time has passed. Any other projects that you want to head up on or follow up on, or initiatives you want to start taking?
I don't know. This Pepe Sylvia sounds like you might be onto something.
Yeah, he's real suspicious.
I need more coffee. Oh wait, I just got fired. I don't know. I mean, I think I would probably. I would look at like trying to market the team ups of me and Circuit for Spark as Sparks and Stripes.
Okay, all right.
Spark and Stripes.
Yes.
Other than that,
So
you know what? Go ahead.
You want to get with Circuit to try and like brand strategize?
I mean, I think we would at one point or another.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
And then, sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, it's fine. Like that's the thing you want to do.
Yeah, I think I am the only other thing I would think I would try to research like what I saw Tensor do. Would I even know that it was called the Chrysalis?
If you want to research Chrysalis, that would definitely be a thing that you can look into.
Yeah, I'd do that too.
Yeah, that was something Fawn did to help Tensor out. Yeah, that would be culture or enigmas.
What if culture is an enigma? I'll do culture then. Would be a mental one. I'll do cunning. No, it'd probably be intellect, right?
It would. I mean, either one would be. It will shape the type of information that you get based off what you roll.
Okay. I have less in intellect. I think that makes more sense.
Okay.
I have to be a good boy.
All right. So you're
One
rolling
success.
You,
Yeah.
you rolled intellect,
And
culture.
culture.
Cool. All right. And you don't have mega int. Gotcha. One success. You know that the Terrigen, like when the Terrigen talks about itself, they make a lot of claims about they're not an organization, they're not like an institution, they don't have like a membership role or everything. They put front and center, we are a philosophical movement. We are a group of novas bound by common ideas that collaborate voluntarily. And from what you understand, that idea, that core idea is the sort of the elevator pitch was put forth in the Null Manifesto, which is the time when Divis Mall took over global communications for a good 15, 20 minutes and issued his decree about novas aren't human and we don't have to follow your rules. That philosophy is known as Terrace. And Terrace is a rabbit hole. You get sort of the top level sort of marketing pitch of transformation through quantum, ascendance from the baseline shell into the nova ascended form, and based on what you saw and what you heard Fawn talking Tensor through, you get the distinct impression that that's not entirely bullshit. There's something there. There's some actual technique or methodology that they have that is not publicly available. Like you can't just go on the OpNet and like find Chrysalis 101. There's some methodology or technology that they have that performs some sort of function on helping them channel their quantum and ability and growing in their power.
Word. Sweet.
So, as much as it all sounds like bullshit, it might not be bullshit.
Oh, they must be onto something.
They must be. We'll move over to Rant. You have a meeting set up in the morning. Anything you want to take care of before that meeting?
I just want to furiously tweet that Liberty Lad is looking up Terrace and everything, but can't because
You can't
that
because
is
you
out.
don't know.
Yeah.
Why'd you tell him, Scott? Damn it!
I don't know. He must have acted
didn't
some
tell
sort
him.
of meta knowledge.
I didn't tell him. I didn't tell him the dice did.
Right. I don't think there's anything else. No.
Okay. All
I'm
right.
just getting ready.
Yeah. So you head over to Core, which Core is the corporation run by the Nova known as the Mathematician, who is a prominent member of the Terrigen. And it is kind of a science and technology and general futurist, organization that does a lot of high-end future tech and a lot of data science. And you have the clout, you have the recognition in order to get an appointment, get your way into Core. And you take the elevator up to actually one of the higher levels, where apparently up on this high level there is some sort of like lab that you're not sure if it's a dedicated laboratory. It shows kind of like this might have been a floor of the building that has been recently cleared and a lot of equipment has been installed in. There's a lot of like computer banks. There's a lot of like equipment and like monitoring equipment. And the biggest feature in the room is this big like metal and ceramic circle that takes up the majority of the floor. That seems to be like slightly concave. And it's just like, so it's like kind of a dish pointing up to the ceiling. And you see a couple of people there, and one guy who is absolutely out of place. He's just a guy wearing jeans and a flannel with a baseball cap. And he just kind of like standing off to the side, talking with people now and then. And when he like looks over to you, he kind of like gives you a nod and like motions you over.
I go up to him.
Rant, right?
Yeah. And you are?
Garen.
Oh, well, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah. I bet you're surprised I'm not like huge and bulging and bigger than this room, right?
Yeah, we put it a fine point on it exactly.
Let you know a little secret. I actually like being dormed down.
Huh.
You'd be. How do you think I got into Miami? You think I walked in my full form?
That actually makes a lot of sense.
No, they don't see this coming. They see the other guy coming.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's cool. Yeah, no, we're working on something here. You wanted to talk?
Yeah, you've got me curious about dormancy, but that's kind of off the point that I was coming to talk to you about. I've been thinking a lot about Sluice, actually.
Yeah, man.
And it's kind of a terrible situation with him being locked up the way he is. And I'm just kind of getting a feel for how folks feel about the situation, and if we could do something about it, how people would feel if he gets out.
I would like nothing more for him to get out. He's a good guy. He really kind of put himself out there for us. Him and I talked about, both of us were real fucking mad about what was happening in Miami.
Right.
And we just hooked up at the Blackburn, and we just got to talking about it. And he's a kid. I think he's probably around your age, maybe a little younger. So he had a lot of fucking crazy ideas, and we spitballed it around time and time, and he he has like I'll give it to him. When we the thought of civil disobedience, provoking a response and getting some sympathy on our end before we do anything more drastic. He took to that real well when we eventually came up with that idea. So yeah, it sucks that they've done what they've done to him. I guess I shouldn't be fucking surprised that they throw him into a black hole, but if there was a way we could get him out, I'd be down for it.
Yeah, I 100% agree. There's a conversation. I'm going to let you in on something. There's a conversation that I had recently that maybe that could be a thing. I don't know how far I can pull that string, but I'm going to run it down as far as I can, particularly after having these few conversations that I've had.
Right. I mean, if you got a lead, then more power to you. You just say the word, and me and the Aberrants, we're down. We'll break them out. We'll do whatever it takes.
I think the good thing is it won't take any. While I don't disagree with your direct action approach at times, I think it'll be a little subtler than that. And I think it might give us an opportunity and get some goodwill going with some people that we might want to bring over to our end of things eventually.
He crosses his hands and says, that's one way to do it. That's one way to think about it. Yeah. If you're thinking about, working with some people that have that kind of pull and influence. But here's another way to think about it. If they've got him somewhere, they probably have other people.
Yeah.
And when I do that math, when I think about that, I think about not just getting him out, but getting anybody else that they've locked away, because who gives them the fucking right to lock away any Novas?
Oh yeah.
Sure. But
I weigh that against, this goodwill plan that you've got going on.
Sure. But if we get these folks on our side as well, we get Sluice out. He tells us what he knows. That gives us better intelligence to make better decisions. And if we need to go in on a strike, we can do so with the best intelligence possible. And with potential allies in our pockets.
He kind of holds his hands up. He's like, okay, I mean, hey, you're the one with the lead. So, hey, you're the one with the lead. I'm not going to go putting my dick in anywhere that it's not wanted.
Sure. And I like I said, I appreciate your direct action, and when we need it, I'm 100% on board for it.
I'm gonna hold you to that. You know what? You know that?
Yeah. I may regret it in future, but probably not, because I mean it when I say it.
I want you to let me know when you know something.
I will.
All right, great. He kind of looks around and says, like, I gotta be doing this thing. It's a bunch of eggheads, gotta making sure stress tests and whatnot. We're gonna be can't really talk about it because it's kind of a secret plan. But you'll find, I'm pretty sure you'll find out in a couple of days. It's gonna be great. He kind of grins for a little bit. He's like, we're gonna get one over on PAX.
That is a thing I'm always up for and up for hearing. So I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be fucking great. All right, cool, man. So tell me the second you can tell me something, right?
I will. Thank you again.
Cool. Why don't you head on down? They've got a really good pretzel place on the bottom floor.
All right. I'll get one. Thanks. Cheers.
Cool. Anything else that you would be taking care of after that meeting?
No, though I'm internally going, what did Rant just do? Is he actually okay with this? And having that moral dilemma as he's going downstairs.
Fantastic. All right, we'll head back over to Circuit. So yeah, a couple days have gone by regarding that. If you want to make another attempt at setting up your Ferris Bueller.exe, you can do so.
Yes. Can I use scientific method this time?
Sure thing.
Sweet. Okay.
Is that another skill trick?
It is.
Okay, as long as the group approves the momentum, that puts you down to 2 momentum.
Is that cool with folks?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna say no. Just kidding.
I mean, you could say no. I'm gonna roll.
I'm gonna say no, but mean yes.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, and then I'll have 3 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where are my 10s at? Damn it!
I don't know.
Oh, hey. 4. Okay, 5 successes on that one.
5 successes. So you absolutely nail the second milestone. And yeah, you nail the second milestone. You've got some good progress on the next one. And you are starting to weave together a plan as far as how to trick the security. I'll also say that you find some exploits with that role that allows you to start weaving in some contingencies. You also think that you can probably loop in another person to your plan, so like you can get 2 people out, pending
Perfect.
nailing the thing right now.
I'll probably like. That reminds me. Spark's always recording.
Mm-hmm.
Did they have any more information they could give me about what Aterrados did to them at NovaCon? Or did I just see like, because of where the camera was all able to see like hair jiggling and then
Give me a technology roll to analyze that.
okay. Technology. Perfect. 1 success, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 successes again.
So you run through some diagnostics on Spark. You really kind of get into the deep level diagnostics, and from what you can tell, and you're fairly certain that you've gotten it, nothing was done to Spark. But you think Spark was analyzed, and like the source code and like the schematics were copied from it. Like you find places in the registry, you find like you go deep into sort of the data logs of the digital communications package that Spark has, and like you can see places where a lot of the data was channeled through. And it's one of those things where there's enough like uncertainties and unanalyzable bit that you're like, yeah, somebody used a power very similar to your own powers regarding digital communications and getting into systems via remote means. That whatever happened pretty much just got into Spark, copied everything that could be copied from Spark, and transferred over the communicator, the OpNet communicator.
Son of a bitch. Okay. Because yeah, that I know that Utopia has looked at Spark to draw their own, like get their own information on it, but I'm like, God damn it, that was private info. I had not released that yet. That is not open source.
Nope, that is proprietary information, and somebody took it. And you're not entirely certain. Like if it's Synapse, it might still be Synapse. You might just be playing you, or it could have been someone else. You'll have to talk to Aterrados.
Motherfucker. Okay. Yeah, that is her big project. And she's also shortened the rotation that Spark does around her, so he is much closer, like easily within arm's length now, to avoid such situations from happening in the future.
Noted. As long as that protocol is running, there'll be a sort of a lingering complication on that. Like that success allows you to sort of program into Spark a kind of a complication for anyone who tries to access it in that way.
Let's see. So I've got my questions. I'm still working on my big thing. Checked in with Tensor. I think she'll actually probably just move out into the more social living room, like actually come out of her room and chill in the main room in case anybody wants to be social or whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I think Liberty Lad mentioned like talking about getting together for branding discussions.
Okay, she would be down for that.
Hey, I think the name Sparks and Stripes would be great for when we team up. We could like use a special, it'd be like for special branding.
No, I totally like that. I was trying to get Team Strong Feelings going for Lily and Schwarzschild.
That one really doesn't roll off the tongue though.
Yeah, it was the best one we came up with.
Tough Love?
Maybe. I do like Tough Love too. Well, we'll ping it back and forth and see which ones get traction.
Yeah, I haven't thought about it. That was just off the cuff. I'll think of something like that.
I'm terrible at naming.
Have you found out anything else?
About
Anything? Stuff that we don't want.
Nope. Not yet. Things are, as far as I know, are still in a holding pattern.
All right. Okay. Because I mean, I was finding out stuff of what I saw Fawn do.
Oh, that stuff. Yeah, actually,
I mean, anything, but yeah, that's what I was looking up.
Oh. Yeah. No, I actually wasn't looking up that. I was looking up more other things. But yeah, their weird crystals thing. I think I found a few documents about that.
Yeah, Chrysalis?
Yep.
What did you find?
Just the basic. It's like seems to be part of their weird philosophy, but there's really nothing about how it does anything or what it does.
Damn, I found that kind of stuff too. All right. Do you like, so did you find anything out more about like you can't fight the future? Stuff I was pretty sure it was Synapse, but I don't know.
I thought it was Synapse, but now I'm thinking there's someone else.
Oh,
Because
really?
yeah, they were not who I thought I was dealing with at Balance Industries.
Who do you think you're dealing with? Any
No.
clues?
I'm not sure. Like, I feel like the most direct thing would be to ask Synapse, but I'm also pretty sure that if somebody asked about like the members of our team, I'm not just going to be like, oh yeah, let me tell you about all 5 members, all of our exploitable weaknesses and powers.
What if you said to Synapse, I think there's someone else, or like I've come across someone else on the opnet. Do you think that then they might offer up some info?
Maybe. I'll try and
Do you think
see.
it might? Do you think it might be have anything to do with? I was just thinking about. Do we ever find out more about like that place in the desert that was it Ogun or whatever was
Oh, the Warlord?
running? Yeah,
I
realized probably should check that out more.
Yeah, I think I actually dropped that. So like she grabs Spark real fast and just kind of types in like some basic like, who was a goon? Where did they come from? Where will they go?
Yeah, you can make some inquiries into regards to that. I mean, there's some data available to you guys just as part of Project Utopia. Um, I mean, he was an elite a couple of years ago. He went off the grid for a while, and then started causing trouble in Libya or near Libya in the demilitarized zones. And based off, sort of the raid and the official, team that went in, he was kidnapping a lot of children in the area, performing experiments on them, making them into kind of like enslaved, enhanced soldiers, as well as just like kind of setting up his little kingdom.
Violating copyright law.
Violating copyright law. You're not sure that was a part of it. Um,
Well, he
Downloading
let it happen.
Metallica.
he did let it happen. He sent of a mission. But yeah, he definitely was involved with a lot of bad shit. And based off your conversation with Margaret Mercer, Utopia and the UN have him. Like he is in a detention center, and they've dismantled his operation as much as possible.
But it's clear that he was by himself or he was
Yeah,
working with-
it didn't seem like he was working in concert with anybody else. I mean, there were a couple of the Novos who were working under him, but he definitely seemed like he was setting up his own private kingdom.
Ah, yes. Nova goes crazy with power. Establishes kingdom.
Should be it for me, then.
Just to put the time frame about when this when we are right now, Circuit and Liberty Lad, that this is the time around which Schwarzschild and Fawn are supposed to have their date, and it seems like
Ooh.
yeah, I know, and you're pretty sure Waterlily is chaperoning that particular endeavor. Um, Rant and Sovereign, you're aware of this as well. And you also haven't seen Aterrados in a little bit. And you know that Fawn and Aterrados has been spending some time together as well. So all of you
Ooh.
are aware that is generally happening around this time. So you guys are in your various apartments and spending some time scrolling social media, getting some song work done, just sort of general relaxing and collaborating. When all of a sudden you start to feel a shaking of the building. Feels like an earthquake is starting to go off.
Oh no, earthquake.
And it
Bloody
shakes
hell.
for a good while, good 10, 20 seconds. And then another pulse starts to go out. And it seems like there's something happening in the city that's shaking things. And that's where we'll end it this week. Tune in next time to see where things go from here on Aberrant Atomic Youth. Don't forget to follow the characters on Twitter to see more of the story, and follow Simulacra RPGs for updates on the show and the channel. If you'd like to support the show, You can subscribe to our YouTube and Twitch channels at Simulacra TV, but the best way is to go to patreon.com/Simulacra Studios and become a patron. A big thanks to our $5 and up patrons. You keep the story going, and we couldn't do it without you. Until next time, remember, your legacy is our future.